The purpose of today is to introduce you to Hubdoc, a Xero app, which is available to anyone on a starter or above Xero subscription for free. So Hubdoc automates the data entry of your invoices and bills and turns it into usable data, which you can then import into Xero. So we use it ourselves and recommend Hubdoc to our clients. It allows them to save time at month and year end. Hold on, sorry. Oh, sorry, you can't actually see me. Here I am. So yeah, so it allows you to just move that away. So yeah, we use it ourselves and we recommend Hubdoc to our clients. So it allows them to save time at month and year end. So no more hunting for invoices, which is key. And it allows them to streamline their accounts payable processes and go paperless. So leading you through the training today will be Cameron Phillips from Xero. Cameron is a Xero partner consultant and a Hubdoc expert. A huge thanks to Xero and Cameron for supporting us and our clients with this free training today. And I'm Julie Copeland. I'm the Group Operations Manager for Sidekick. So I look at opportunities across the whole Sidekick group to improve our systems, processes, and capabilities. We can see the huge opportunity that Hubdoc presents in streamlining our clients' accounting and bookkeeping. Our clients that already use Hubdoc have been able to go paperless. They have greater visibility of their finances and speed up their bookkeeping. And the best part of all, it's free if you're on a starter or above Xero plan. So shortly I'll pass you on to Cameron. And firstly, he's going to take you on an introduction to Hubdoc. He'll explain what it is and how it will solve a problem and save you some time and headaches. We're going to then jump into a live demo of Hubdoc. We'll walk through how to upload documents into Hubdoc. There are a few different options here. We'll then talk through how you can level it up and set up the integration with Xero. And lastly, we'll go through some tips and tricks, including managing folders and organizing your documents. Then we'll wrap up and explain how you can get help from Sidekick to get up and running with Hubdoc, or if you're confident, you can get started with Hubdoc yourself. So please ask questions in the Q&A. We'll do our best to answer them, or at the very least, someone will come back to you later this week. Before we kick off, I'd just like to get a quick idea of this group's current document management processes. So I am going to start a poll and you should see it pop up and just have a go at answering those. Okay, I see there's already a few people that have already answered that. So have you ever spent unnecessary time searching for documents and invoices? There's a mix there, so that's really interesting. I wonder if occasionally people are already using Hubdoc. And so what we find with our clients is we get to year end and we start doing the year end processes for them, and we have much less queries to go to the client. So it's a big time saver at year end for us and for the client. And the other one about being paperless, one of the key benefits of being paperless is being able to kind of operate from anywhere and to, not be locked into the office or that. So that's a key benefit that our clients that use Hubdoc are getting. So I will just close the poll there. That's really cool. So moving on. So now I'm going to pass you on to Cameron. Cameron.
Thank you so much, Julie. First of all, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Just give me a thumbs up. Perfect. There were some interesting results from that poll. Some of those numbers came in pretty close to 50-50. So good afternoon, everyone. My name's Cameron. I do work at Xero in our training department. And today we're going to go through a high-level overview of what Hubdoc is, how it can benefit your company, as well as how it integrates seamlessly with our Xero product. Julie, next slide, please. So first of all, what is Hubdoc? Well, it's a product that you get free with a business edition subscription in Xero. And think of it as being able to perform two functions for you first and foremost. The first one is going to be a digital shoebox. So gone are the days where you needed to deliver all of your source documents to your accountant in a LeverArch folder or an actual shoebox. With Hubdoc, you're able to digitize all of those little slips that tend to get lost or faded throughout the year. This can be done through taking a picture with the mobile app, uploading it through the website, the Hubdoc website, or by emailing it through to Hubdoc, all of which I'll show you a little bit later today. Second of all, it digitizes hard copy or the electronic receipts that you get in email or at the shop into a format that your accounting software, in this case Xero, can read. So instead of manually creating the bill in Xero, Hubdoc is able to do that for you from what you feed into it. Julie, next slide, please. What will also happen is that when these bills are created in Xero, you'll be able to easily reconcile your bank transactions against these bills. And what's really nice is that for as long as you're going to have Xero, so even if it's 10 years down the line, if you used Hubdoc to create that bill in Xero, it will attach a picture of that invoice. So that means that if you ever need to search for an invoice, or if you ever want to get an understanding of what an expense was a couple of years down the line, or even at year end, you can click on that transaction in Xero, and it will actually pull up a copy of that scanned invoice. I think that's a really, really great benefit, especially being an accountant industry where we would often get to the end of the year and prepare our clients' financial statements, or have to deal with any tax questions where we're asked to further identify and analyze certain accounts. We could pull up all that information as well as the source documents just to be able to give that better clarity. All right, next slide, please. So that was the bit of the theory behind it. Let's take a look at how it actually works. So Hubdoc can be accessed from within your Xero organization. And the way that you would do that is click on the organization drop down on the top left-hand side, scroll down and click on this Hubdoc button. That would take you straight into your company's Hubdoc account. And before we go any further, I just want to orientate you with what you're seeing in front of you right now. In the left-hand side column will be all of the folders that Hubdoc will automatically create when you upload a bill to the software. The next column will be a copy of all of the bills that are currently in the process flow. So what that means is that when you upload a bill to Hubdoc, it will scan through what you've sent it and pick out certain words and numbers. And as that's being processed, so you can follow that flow here, anything that needs to be reviewed, failed, or anything that's been archived. Or in this case, we can just see all of the bills that are currently in Hubdoc. Because I'm currently on this capital cab bill, in the next column, you can see a picture of this bill that was sent through to Hubdoc. And on the far right-hand side, you can see how Hubdoc is going to handle this bill. As you can see up over here, we do have duplicate detection. So if a bill is uploaded more than once, Hubdoc will let you know, and you will have an opportunity to go through and review it. And if there is a duplicate, delete it. This column here is broken into two sections by this line. Everything above this line is going to be how Hubdoc is going to treat the storage of this bill. So we can see here, we can go ahead and select the document type. It has automatically pulled up the supplier name, reference, date, due date, and the total amount as well as the tax due on this. And if we scroll down, we have the option to publish it through to Xero. So if you think back to what I've just mentioned, Hubdoc really has two key benefits. The first is going to be a digital shoebox, and the second is going to be pushing the bill through to Xero. And this determines where that bowl is going to appear in your Xero organization. But let me show you how it works. So if we go ahead and we click on this upload document button here in the top, we're going to go ahead and browse our computer for a file that I have from ABC Furniture. I'm going to go ahead and click open, and Hubdoc has analyzed the bill that I've uploaded. You can see it says completed, as well as it's loaded the bill here. And those of you that have a keen eye will notice that ABC Furniture folder has also been created. We have the option to email the bills through to Hubdoc, and you can customize a part of this email address. So you could have your company name here, and it works really nicely in conjunction with your account's email. So you could either set this as your account's email address, so all of your suppliers will send their bills straight into your Hubdoc account, or you could just save this as a contact and forward the bills that you want to process from your account's inbox over to Hubdoc. And the third option is that we do have apps on the Google Play and Apple stores that you can download, snap a picture just like you would take a photograph, and it will come through to the same place that you're seeing here in Hubdoc. So I'm going to go ahead and click on ABC Furniture. It's going to load this bill that I've uploaded. And you can see that it's automatically picked up who the supplier is, the dates, the amounts, and the GST on this transaction. If I scroll a little bit further down, we can see that the bill has not yet been published to Xero. Now you do have the option to have it automatically published to Xero as soon as it comes through. But for today's demo, I've turned this off so I could show you what this process looks like. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to agree that it needs to be published as a purchase item. So bills in Xero, but you do have other options that you can select for different types of documents. We have the option of whether it's going to process as a draft, awaiting approval, or awaiting payment bill. And for today's demo, I'm going to select draft. We can enter who the contact is. If there were multiple line items on this bill, we could switch over to a multiple line processing in Xero. And we can take a look at which account we want to post it to. This is pulling through from your Xero chart of accounts. So as you add accounts in Xero, you'll be able to select those accounts here. And then for those of you that are using tracking categories, you can also assign the bill to a tracking category. If you're ever worried about having your files stored in more than one place, you can also use our third-party integrations to be able to store a copy of all of these bills on Google Drive, on Box, on Dropbox, etc. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and hit this publish button. And quite quickly, it's come up letting me know that this bill has been published to Xero. It does keep a little bit of an audit trail. And I can either go into my Xero tab where I've just come from and head over to bills, or I can view the purchase in Xero by clicking on this hyperlink. And as you can see, it's taken me straight to the bill that it's raised from Hubdoc. It's attached a copy of that PDF bill that we uploaded a little bit earlier. And we have the option to go ahead and approve this. Just taking a look at the payment history, we can also see here where this bill's come from and the date that it was loaded into Xero. So the place that you can see it, we click on business and you head over to bills to pay. This is where we had the option to choose whether it was sitting under draft, awaiting approval, or awaiting payment. Because I selected draft, here it's sitting. And if I click into it here, you can also see a copy of that bill appear next to the bill in Xero. So if I head back here to Hubdoc, we can also go ahead and upload multiple bills, so you don't have to do one at a time. So I click on the upload document button, head over to this multi-page PDF split. I'm going to go ahead and click browse, and I've got a multi-page PDF bill here. That's loaded, and as you can see here on the left-hand side, it's analyzing the bills that we've just uploaded, and you can see that it's come through and already picked up the supplier name and all the detail, and it's processed it on the right-hand side. Not yet published to 0, that we can still do manually because we've set it as a setting for us to do that, but it's gone ahead and saved it in Hubdoc. If you ever need to export your data out of Hubdoc, what you can do is click on the folder here on the left-hand side, click on the drop-down option, and we have the option to download all of the files that will be in the folder. So if you think after a couple of years, perhaps 5, 6 years of using Hubdoc, you need to, for whatever reason, extract all the supplier invoices, either within a certain date range or all of them. You can do that quite easily. You can also export this to CSV. And if you want to, we can go ahead and use a search function to look for a specific item that is on an invoice. So I know that we've got an invoice here with golf balls. So I did a search for golf. It's pulled up all of these invoices where we have golf balls in the description of the line items for these bills. And this is really useful, especially if you're trying to find a warranty item and you don't quite remember which invoice it was on. You can do a quick and easy search for that. But you can also be a little bit more specific. If you only want to return data within a certain date range, you can do that, or within a certain amounts, or from specific suppliers. So the search function can be as global or as narrow as you would like it to be. So this is how Hubdoc works at its kind of high-level basic form. It does an exceptional job at being able to store all of your bills and to create a supplier bill for you in Xero. A couple of the tips and tricks where we find that our partners and clients really enjoy using Hubdoc would be to add tags. So this is really cool when it comes to any construction or project management firms. So instead of, say, moving all of these bills that we've got loaded here out of their supplier folders into a project folder, what you can go ahead and do is add a tag. So if we wanted to say that this relates to project A, we've added that tag, and down here on the bottom left, project A tabs appeared. So we can head over here, add this Mercury doc to project A. And now instead of moving these two invoices into their own project folder out of their supplier folder, all we need to do is just go ahead and click on the project tag, and those invoices appear. So you don't have to move your data around. If you're going to go ahead and invite your accountant to your Hubdoc account, which I highly recommend that you do, what you can do is click on this gear icon on the top right-hand side, head over to users, invite a user, select accountant and bookkeeper, and enter in your accountant's email address. They might have a specific email address for their Hubdoc invitations. So that's something that I'll definitely reach out and discuss it with them before you do that. The next tip and trick that I can share with you that people really like is that if we head over to organization, this is where you're able to set up a customized email address for your Hubdoc account. So as you can see over here, ours is set up as Xero demo, but if we go ahead and click on the edit email, you could go ahead and put your company name here, and then you can decide whether this email address is what you're going to give out to your suppliers, or if you're just going to save it as a contact and forward your bills through to your Hubdoc account. So when you forward your bills through your Hubdoc account, just the same as when you're uploading your documents, like I've shown you earlier, or if you're taking a picture with your mobile phone, they will all appear in this all docs column, just like you saw happened with the documents that I had created earlier. And that is a high-level overview, and I hope that you could see how Hubdoc could be really beneficial to your company. I'm not going to hand back over to Julie, but we will be on the Q&A, just answering any questions that you might have. So Julie, back to you. Hi, Julie, just letting you know that we can't hear you if you are still muted.
Great, thank you. Just for anybody who's watching, this is my first time doing a webinar, so the technical difficulties won't be so bad next time, but got to start somewhere, don't you? So just a bit of a reminder, we've got the Q&A, so if you have had any questions pop up, feel free to put those in, and we'll tackle them at the end and also throughout the presentation. Thanks, Cam. That was fantastic. So I'm just going to move in. So next up, in terms of where you go through from here, so after the webinar, you will be sent a quick survey. And if you're interested in our Quick Start Hubdoc setup and training, you can note this on that survey and someone from Sidekick will be in touch. We do find that this is the best way to get up and running really quickly and easily. And we help guide you through the process for that. So this setup and training usually takes about an hour, I think. And the other option is if you do feel confident to follow the online guides provided by Xero, you can activate your own Hubdoc subscription through Xero, as Cameron mentioned. So, and then there's good full instructions in Xero Central as to how to operate Hubdoc. So just, I guess, in summary, Hubdoc's great for streamlining your workflow. You're not having to type as much data, reduces all that manual data entry that you've had in the past, the opportunity for errors. It allows you to go paperless, and it is pretty simple, quick, and pain-free. We all use it, and a lot of our clients already do. So we definitely encourage it. So I'll just pass you on to Diana. Diana, have we had any questions in the Q&A or?
We had one question, but it was kind of not exactly a Hubdoc question, but we're definitely here if you've got more Hubdoc questions, so please fire them through.
Awesome. Okay. So unless there's anything else, that is all from us today. And apologies again for the technical difficulties, but thank you so much for coming along. And we really hope you do give Hubdoc a go if you haven't already, or if you are already using Hubdoc, hopefully you found a few tips and tricks on this presentation today. So thanks again to Cam and Xero for all your support on this. And thank you very much. And we hope to bring more of this kind of information in future. So in the post-webinar survey, let us know if there's anything else you'd like to know more about, whether it's Xero or any other kind of apps. And that is all. So we'll get the webinar recording out to everybody, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.